Oh, big guy, you have $101,353 of debt, and none of it is a mortgage.
I spent a small house worth on skins.
On skins, how much?
Like 92,000.
You went and got a $4,000 necklace while you were unemployed?
Okay, so today we got another fun one. We're going to be taking a look at some of the crazy situations people get themselves in on the financial audit, and hopefully most of you take it as some sort of scared straight episode. We have a lot to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's start off with some unreal spending and then admitting to a crime for everybody to see.
How much do you spend on a monthly basis? We know $3,500 comes in.
Well, my spending is a little crazy.
That's an interesting number.
Yeah, because it's so I believe it's around 20K.
That's ridiculous. No, that's what?
Yeah,
How?
because
no, by the way, it's 15, but even still, what the are you talking about?
So due to the amount of payments and different things that I have a little finagling that happens, which is one of my accounts was opened in a separate state. So whenever I have one account that is overcharged, I have 48 hours to then replenish that account back to zero to stop from an overdraft fee or any other fee. So I can take from one of the other accounts, put it in there, overdraft, and then they bounce between.
Whoa. How long has this cycle been going?
Probably since the beginning of the year.
He just admitted to check kiting. That's check kiting, that's illegal. How can you spend 5 times more than what you make? We're going to see that a lot in this episode. Just another one of the examples where people, I guess, think that they have immunity on this show. That can't really be the case. It's just a YouTube video, it's a podcast, a form of entertainment for anybody on the planet to see. And so many people just regularly admit to fraud and breaking the law. It really amazes me. We have a couple comments from you guys with an update on a previous guest of the show. The Ugandan guy still hasn't received any gold yet, but he's assured everyone it's just around the corner to become rich. So one of the older guests literally fell for the Nigerian prince scam. He thinks that there's some sort of gold mine in Uganda and had to send a certain amount of money over, and then he would get untold riches forever. Surprisingly, he's not going to see a dime of returns at all, but my money is safe. I invested in plutonium mines on Pluto. Oh man.
But there's a $40,000 life insurance policy that's gonna come straight to me. When Granny, that's just.
How's her health?
She had a stroke. Her heart is AFib. She's diabetic and still eats a ton of sugar. Love her, but. Part of the reason I took so long to move out of my hometown was because I was worried that my grandparents are gonna die soon.
Okay, so I mean, what? If it's split in third across from everything, well, I don't know what's gonna happen with the property, but it's a weird thing to bake on. Let's say you get $200,000, that's nice. That could be in 10, 20 years, though. We don't know.
But life insurance is not inheritance. It's supposed to pay for the funeral and other expenses. $40,000 is nothing, in all honesty. It really isn't if you're trying to bank on this kind of money to survive. Of course, overall, $40,000 is a lot of money, but in this high cost of living climate, even the $200,000 with the property values, I could bet that she would squander, especially being a guest on this show. An overwhelming majority of the time, they don't make the best financial decisions. She's basically admitted she'd rather have $40,000 soon than her grandma around for longer. Nice. $40,000 will cover the funeral and some other things. That's barely life insurance. Funerals are very expensive in today's world as well. Another comment from you guys, this is my Jerry Springer. I do believe a lot of people tend to think this way as well. And along with, of course, this being entertainment, bringing in the drama that everybody loves, hopefully it starts making some people take the steps into being financially literate.
You tell me you guys bought a house and you didn't have $5,000 saved up on the side?
No.
Then you were not ready to get a house. $5,000 shouldn't have made or break you.
To be fair, we had been married for like...
To be fair, f you. I don't care.
6 months.
You don't get a house if you don't have a fully funded emergency fund to cover everything you need to live for 6 months while owning the house.
Well, we did.
Huh?
We did buy the house when we weren't ready.
How did you not think of closing costs? Did your realtor not tell you about closing costs?
They did. And then we just pulled a personal loan for it.
Oh, why'd you do that?
So our realtor was like, if you guys pull a personal loan, you'll be able to afford the closing costs. So
a shithead.
Well, he wanted money. That's
no, but I have a realtor and he actually gives me good advice. He happily tells me not to buy things constantly.
So a few things to talk about here. People jumping into the deep end with, in all honesty, the most expensive purchase they will ever make, and then immediately becoming house poor. Beyond that, they needed an extra loan just for the closing cost. How are you going to afford the house whatsoever? The monthly mortgage, all the rest of the bills. If anything breaks, it's your problem. But we could go over to the comments. Who's out here with $500 just sitting around in today's economy? LOL. You should probably have some extra money saved up, especially if you're trying to purchase a house today. I know having an extra $5,000 is much easier said than done, but if you're taking this type of large financial step in your life, you should have more money than just the amount for the down payment. I don't know, but we can move on to a very uncomfortable video, to be honest.
How much debt do we think we have?
Close to 500?
Okay, I was closer to like 300,000.
$550,974.
Oh, that's a lot larger of a number than I was hoping for. I suppose sorry.
Okay, what the fuck?
No, it's,
No, not you. Her. She's like rubbing your tits.
yeah, well, sorry. Money gives me anxiety.
Oh.
Do you need a moment?
No, I'm at work all day. I had the fucking GI Bill where they pay me to go to school. I'm a ghost in my own reality to try and earn as much money as I can. What were those fucking numbers?
It's not great.
Is this for just us or all three of us?
All three combined.
Okay.
$550, but that does include a mortgage. However, money gives him anxiety, so he has no idea what kind of finances he's dealing with whatsoever. How do you go through life like that? I understand people don't want to be absolutely obsessive with money, thinking about it 24/7, but if you're on the other side of that, you'll be like this guy having to ask how much debt you're in, having no idea. The throuple situation on top of it being very uncomfortable on the show, I just had to put that one in.
You have an overdraft loan.
So just another overdraft? On top of the overdraft?
Yes, which I've never even seen before, by the way. Congratulations on making financial out of history of something so horrible and disgusting. That is not cute. You're going to piss me off and I'm going to kick you the fuck off. If you keep trying to be cute, you're not being cute. Saying thanks when I say it is the first time I've ever seen something that bad. That is not cute. Stop trying to look cute. It's not funny. No one's giving you high fives in the comments. Shut the fuck up.
I know. What do you want me to do?
So if I'm understanding that correctly, she got a loan to pay off her overdraft fees and then she didn't pay that loan back as well? I mean, getting a loan for that in the first place is already wild, but it seems like this is another example of you can't really help everyone. Some people just don't take it seriously. They want to act cute and say thanks, even though they are hemorrhaging money every single day. And the entire purpose of the show is to go over their numbers and see what can be done to improve their life. If they don't take advantage of it, what are you supposed to do? Another comment from you guys, I think a lot of people don't understand that the credit card minimum payment will not get that debt paid off. I agree with that as well. We've seen a lot of guests and people on the credit card debt videos having 4 or 5 figures worth of debt on their credit cards, but they're only paying $70, $80, maybe $150 a month, the minimum payments. And then after a few months, they're surprised that the balance has gotten even larger with those 20 to 30% interest rates.
Oh, big guy, you have $101,353 of debt, and none of it is a mortgage.
Damn, that's the amount.
That's the amount. Damn. Yes, it is. That is true. Now we know what comes in, by the way. It was $2,600, which was Zeldin last month. Okay. How much was spent last month?
3,000?
Okay, $7,284. You are broken, and it is only
That
because
is actually crazy.
That is actually crazy. I agree. Well done.
How did I spend that much money? There's literally no... Okay.
That seems to be a very common answer every time Caleb goes over this with each guest. She spent almost 3 times the amount of money that was coming in, along with $100,000 worth of debt that isn't a mortgage. How is that even possible? There's no way that's true, even though they bring in all of their documentation from the banks. So it's not like Caleb's just pulling a number out of thin air.
What's the iPad loan at? That was at $1,100.
I don't want to talk about that one.
Talk about it.
I was not going to worry about that until I got my tax returns to pay that off.
Tax returns for next year.
Yes. Because I'm working on paying off my credit card, and then I'm going to refinance my car.
Oh, what the Tax return is not a strategy, though. That's what I'm upset about. Okay, so no progress there.
You paid for an $1,100 iPad with the possibility of future tax returns. We're way past the point of somebody just blowing it all as soon as they get their money back. She's already buying stuff way before the tax returns hit the bank account. Wow. Wait, they have loans for an iPad? I mean, it could be a personal loan, payday loan, a firm, and either BNPL. If you need to take out a loan for any type of tablet, you don't need it. And here we have a comment from you guys that goes well with this. Payment plans were okay when it was like layaway. When you made payments until you finally purchased the item and then got it. Now they give you the thing first and let you pay for it later. And I feel like that's really hurting people. On some cruises, they'll let you pay it off in installments so that you pay it all before the final date of the cruise. That's a good idea if spending $2,000 a year in advance is difficult, but you pay for the plan ahead and then you go on the cruise, not the other way around. But Buy Now Pay Later is trying to change all of that, making delayed gratification a thing of the past. People want everything immediately. But what really sucks is when the cruise is already done and months later you're still paying it off, you don't think it's worth it anymore because you're getting nothing out of it currently. Now just take that single example and put it to any product you could think of. No wonder household debt is increasing every time they bring out new statistics.
I spent a small house worth on skins,
On skins, how much?
like $92,000.
$92,000 on in-game skins?
Yeah, that's the best part is I don't have any of them anymore.
When you were 19?
Yeah.
Did you sell them?
No, I got banned.
He lost the account.
So now I am not toxic on video
How
games
are you
anymore.
banned?
Don't be toxic, kids. That's the whole
Listen,
thing.
at 19, so 40 years later,
Yeah.
by the time you would have retired, that $95,000 that you spent would have been worth $2.3 million if invested in the overall stock market.
Yeah.
You spent $2.3 million on gaming skins.
Now you guys know that I'm a big hater of gambling in general. I talk about it constantly, and I think it's pretty detrimental for the younger generation, especially being able to gamble on anything with our phones. But I think this issue should be talked about more as well. Of course, it seems like everybody plays video games now, and on top of paying the $60, $70, $80 for the disc or the downloadable content, whatever, you now have a battle pass that's $10 or $20, and then in-game skins that are $10, $20, $30 a skin. And people love to pay for this kind of stuff. I know one of the arguments is that people use it as an investment for games like Counter-Strike. However, the CSGO market just tanked with a new update a few weeks ago. Tons of people lost an enormous amount of potential money if they sold their skins. But this guy was an example of a whale spending an enormous amount of money, getting banned as well, so he lost all of it, couldn't sell it to try to recoup any money. Dropping $92,000 on League of Legends skins is crazy. And in the same way, comment sections talking about gambling don't take it seriously at all, and people would just readily admit to how much money they spend. It's the same when we talk about video games. I have about $17,000 in skins on a mobile game. I spent $3,000 on Fortnite. I bet this problem is only going to become more common in the next couple years.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an entrepreneur.
No one answers, I'm an entrepreneur, unless they're unemployed. When someone asks me what I do for a living, I don't say I'm an entrepreneur. I say, I make YouTube videos.
Well, I mean, I do hair. I do
Okay.
a lot of other arts and crafts, and I make money off of it. Like I make rugs.
And you're able to fully sustain yourself off of this?
No, that's why I moved back in with my dad.
Okay. At 26, tell me what you make from this thing.
In total with everything, I would say about 1,000.
At that point, it's a hobby that you make some money off of, even if it is full-time hours. If you're only bringing in $1,000 a month and had to move back with your parents because of it, your entrepreneurial career should probably take a backseat to a normal 9-to-5 job. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because they see tons of people apparently making millions of dollars online all the time. And maybe that is true in some cases, but it's not for her situation. I'm professionally delusional. If she does hair, why doesn't she make that her main gig? It's more secure than selling art, I agree with that, which she could do on the side. Some people need to realize that crafts and rug making is for hobbies and not for employment. But let's go back to the video game subject with a guy who spent $4,000 on a PC. I should reword that. He financed a $4,000 gaming PC.
Why are we affirming so much?
A couple years ago, I got a PC.
You're taking out a 401k loan to get a fucking gaming PC, by the way, is how that works out.
It was my Christmas present.
To yourself?
Yeah, we both agreed that I could get it for myself.
So you said, let's get a 32% interest gaming PC that we'll never be able to pay off, and you eventually have to put your 401k essentially on hold.
He did not explain all of that. He did say, could I get a gaming PC?
You just enable.
I have.
Why? You blame each other for everything, yet you allow each other to do everything? Make that make sense. How much was the computer?
I don't remember how much it was originally.
The initial amount was $4,000. The f did you get?
It was pre-built.
Why? Spend some time with your f***ing kids and wife. You're working 60 hours a week.
I like to play with my kids.
How often is this?
When he first got it, he was working a little less, so it was used a little more then. But recently, it's been maybe once a week.
Buddy, sell this
I
thing.
don't think it's worth anything near what I paid for it.
Oh, for f***'s sake.
Okay, so this guy gets a monster $4,000 gaming PC, over 30% interest with it. And because he works so much, it's used once a week. I don't think you needed the highest end specs at the time to play some games once every 7 days. And similar to a car, a PC is a depreciating asset. They come out with stronger components every single year. So the previous model, the previous year, consistently goes down in value. So that $4,000 PC that's way more after paying all the interest will be worth significantly less than that if he does sell it. But this is a lot more common than you think. We have a little part 2 with a different guest.
You said things have gotten better. I'm seeing double the bounce. It said 6,337. What happened?
I can explain. I decided to spoil myself, and I bought ROG Ally Z1E.
How much is that?
600.
Buddy, the bounce is $6,337. What the f are you possibly talking about?
A couple months later, we're homeowners.
What happened?
It's a redemption arc.
No, it's not. Your debt is worse. Stop trying to fucking cope yourself out of this, buddy.
But you have to treat yourself with a $600 handheld. And then why not? Add on top of it being homeowners. You know, that's real cheap. I don't think I have to explain if he's already on the financial audit. Money's pretty tight. But we could go over to the comments. I decided to spoil myself. I bought another gaming device so I could sink into further antisocial depression. Stop trying to cope yourself out of this, buddy. Should be on a t-shirt. I'm not trying to make it like playing video games is bad. I do it. I've been playing Battlefield 6 a lot. But going into debt, sinking almost 6 figures in in-game skins, and then getting banned on top of it, it's just obviously not a way for you to get financially ahead whatsoever.
You went and got a $4,000 necklace while you were unemployed, which is, by the way, a month where you asked your parents if you could not pay rent. What the f is wrong with you? You're wearing it? Oh my. What are you, fucking Shazam? This is...
He likes the Flash. He wanted a cross, but I said, get this one instead of the cross.
Looks like a middle schooler.
He told me he felt spendy.
He felt spendy.
That's what he told me.
What even is that?
I don't remember using that term ever.
When he likes something, he hyper focuses on it.
I do too, but it doesn't mean I get it. I do if I can afford it.
Yeah. To be fair, I think we did have that in our savings. It just made it to where we couldn't pay for anything else.
That seems like a great decision in my book. Let's get an absolutely hideous $4,000 gold necklace of a lightning bolt. That was everything that we had in our savings account to pay our bills, but that's okay. Not a thought behind those eyes. He spent $4,000 on something that looks like it came out of a gumball machine. That's a really good way to put it. It is amazing to me that there are almost an unlimited amount of guests making these types of choices.
You got a brand new car. You're swimming in debt.
Yeah, it's a lease. It is a 2025 Mazda.
$800 a month is something you're not even gonna own?
I see a car as a depreciating asset.
Certainly
expecting
is,
to
but
make
at least
money
you
on
get
it.
an asset.
Well, I get a new car every 2 years, so I'm never gonna.
Well, that's your choice and dumb behavior.
Yeah, if I want to have the latest and greatest, yes. It's a
oh my
dumbass
gosh,
choice.
why not have the latest and greatest retirement? Even with leases, you got to put money down.
I put $2,000 down on a firm.
Wait.
I had a 2023 CX-50, and the shady ass sales guy was like, "Oh, you know, while you're waiting, you want to try out this one?" And it was exactly what I was looking for. Had all the features I wanted. Had ventilated seats.
Okay, so another person living wildly above their means. I'm leasing because I don't want to put my money into a depreciating asset, even though I'm giving Mazda $800 a month for it. It's still a Mazda at the end of the day. It's not a luxury vehicle, but it's the shady salesman's fault. Of course, they're going to try to get you into a new car to get a commission check, but all you have to do is say, no thank you. I'm getting my oil change or whatever maintenance on my current vehicle. I don't need to roll over the negative equity into a new one, but I need the latest and greatest. So there goes $800 a month, and they'll do this for the rest of their lives. He financed the down payment as well, forgot about that. $800 for a lease. I've never paid even close to that for a lease, and mine was always fully loaded and cost more than his car. It's probably the constant negative equity being rolled over every couple of years, along with probably having to finance more because he had to affirm the down payment.
I'm confused why the people making $120,000 a year net is the one getting subsidized.
We couldn't.
Compared to those who are actually struggling.
I did not put his income And it.
So you lied.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Because we could not afford to do it at that time because our credit card minimum debt and our rent and everything else was super high at that time. So.
Because she wanted the bigger house.
There you go, $120,000 a year, but they couldn't afford anything. Sounds like living above your means to me, and because of that, let's commit fraud. What could go wrong? And then to make it even better, let's talk about it on the financial audit that gets hundreds of thousands or millions of views online. And that's exactly what this comment says. Admitting to fraud on a show millions of people will see is wild. What do you think's gonna happen? As a single mom who paid over $20,000 last year for daycare, this pisses me off so bad. Hey, that's a felony. They should pay every penny back plus a huge fine. I know I said this earlier, but I guess they believe they have some sort of immunity and there won't be any consequences for admitting this online. I just don't understand.
What do you do for a living?
I'm door dashing.
How much DoorDash are you doing in a week?
I usually work 2 full shifts, so 16 hours.
Wait, you're 36. What the fuck are you doing Monday through Friday?
Mostly just the 16 hours in Austin, but like if it picks up in Waco, I'll pick up a couple hours here and there.
In Austin?
Yep.
Oh, wait, how far of a drive is it from Waco?
Hour and 30 minutes.
That has to eat into whatever little profits we're making on DoorDash, right? With maintenance and gas.
I mean,
Miles.
you know, pay to play, I guess.
Oh, DoorDash is in a similar boat with Uber. Maybe some people could make a good living if they're around a very busy city, but you're going to be working a lot, so your car's most likely going to have to be paid off as well. Very economical, good MPG, and 16 hours a week with a 3-hour round trip to Austin cannot be worth it at the end of the day.
What was your monthly average you were losing in slots?
Anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000.
That's your entire income. And you had to cash advance for it?
Yeah.
You got almost an 11% fee.
So that 11% fee is like every month. Yeah.
It accrues 11% a month?
Yeah.
Not a year and then broken down month by month.
No, it's
It is 11% a month?
Yeah.
So it's like 100% a year.
Depending on how long it takes me to pay it off, yeah.
For slots? 130% loan for a slot.
Yep. My parents won $200,000 on there. So I was trying to win big and it didn't work.
My parents won a whole bunch of money, so I'm just gonna do the same thing, as if it's just that easy. You could go look up online and there are tons of Instagram posts, news articles of this guy getting an insane parlay and winning hundreds of thousands of dollars when he only put down $100. Now, if these stories aren't just blatantly false to try to get you to think that you could do it as well, it's so incredibly unlikely that it's almost impossible and you'll just lose your money. And this guy is now going to be paying 100% interest a year for that pipe dream of winning $200K like his parents did. That's exactly how they get you with gambling, and this problem has only been getting worse.
How much was your wedding?
$70,000.
Why?
It was beautiful.
Okay.
It was the happiest day of my life, and I don't regret it.
We had a $50,000 budget for the wedding.
Well, then-
it ended up paying a little bit more than that.
What the cost $75,000?
Well, I'm Mexican, and in Mexico, you have like a 3-day long celebration.
Well, I mean, you're in America.
Yeah, well, we may have traveled.
The wedding was in Mexico.
Yeah, it was cheaper.
Yeah, you saved so much.
We did.
We had
For what we got.
Yeah, well, it would have cost.
Yeah, if you went insane in America, sure.
We'll go straight over to the comments. I'm Mexican and I live in Mexico. We do not have 3-day celebrations. I'm Mexican and I've never heard of 3-day celebrations. Mexican here, we most certainly do not have 3-day weddings, just over and over again. But it was a deal. It would have been over 6 figures if it was in the US. I honestly just don't get it. I would understand more if they took $50,000 and just traveled the world for their honeymoon. They were gone for months. I feel like that would be a way better experience than a 1-day or apparently 3-day party.
How have your finances been?
My husband made me sell my car. It really hit me a couple weeks ago when we were sitting at the dealership. Normally, I'm all happy to get a new car. I was crying, signing paperwork.
Now, do we have a car loan to replace it?
So we have a lease.
What's your monthly payment on that?
$518.
What's the car?
He got me another Lexus. But
I thought we were trying to get out of debt. Like, why do we need a high car payment for Lexus?
It's 3 years. We looked at other cars. I really wanted a Hyundai Sonata. That's really what I wanted to go get.
I really don't care what we want, though. I don't really care about the word want when it comes to a vehicle.
I told him that, whatever you feel like we can get right now, I really don't care.
Yeah, but you know what you can get.
Why did they sell a car to lease a car? A luxury car as well. Who the heck leases a car for $500? Well, we saw that Mazda earlier for $800. I'm no car expert, but I'm pretty sure a Hyundai Sonata is cheaper than a Lexus. I know Hyundais aren't nearly as reliable, but if you're trying to pay as little money as possible for a vehicle, I mean, even a Toyota, why did you have to go get a Lexus? Why are some people so allergic to secondhand? Again, I think it's keeping up with the Joneses, living above your means. I'm not buying a used car. That's for poor people. I'm better than that. Even though I'm in financial ruins, I'm just gonna go get a Lexus lease. The choices these guests make will always baffle me.
I'm already a micro influencer.
I don't know what constitutes as that.
About 3,000 followers within 6 months, focused in a particular niche.
The niche is
classic automotive.
Ah, yes. Going international for classic automotive.
Of course, because there's a bigger market for it in Europe than there is in parts of the U.S. where people like
classic automotive.
Yeah, because Americans are buying EVs and SUVs. So
here, let's vet it. Show me the Instagram.
Let's bet. You want to see it right now?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna blur the names because I do not allow people to plug things, but I will screen record it.
Should totally plug it though.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, I'm at 25, but here you go.
Hey,
Plus years
Reels
now.
get like 1,000, 500, 400.
Yeah, I mean, we're just getting started. I'm getting a decent amount.
How many followers did he say he had?
Okay, so a couple things there. He rounded up his 3,000 followers. He actually had 2,500 in 6 months. Now, I'm not trying to dunk on him playing the numbers game, but 2,500 in 6 months is still just a hobby. I know the term micro-influencer has been thrown around a ton, but I also feel like him saying Americans are buying a ton of EVs and he's going over to Europe for the classic automotive niche is just false. When we take a look at the car market on this channel, Europe really seems to be buying EVs way more than the US. Their cities are much smaller, much more compact. They don't have to drive nearly as long as most Americans do. No way, bro said 3,000. If Caleb actually wanted to help people, he would let this guy plug his Instagram. It wouldn't cause the show any harm. I think it would, and so did this reply. It would, because people would start coming onto the show just to plug. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try something on social media, but you trying to make it your primary income when you only have a few thousand followers in this day and age, 2025, that's not a lot.
Seen enough. Trying to pay off our credit card is spending $17,569 in this last month, bringing in, an average of $4,600. Go ahead and please make that make sense. How is that trying to pay off our debt and raising our credit? Inform me on that. I'm ignorant. I'm not educated. Please inform me.
Yeah.
Teach me.
I have a piggy bank.
What?
I've been putting away my fives.
What the fuck are you talking about? You spent $17,000 last month.
$17,000.
$17,000.
Is that taking in getting Zelled? I split my rent payment, so I get Zelled
Rent to
money.
your mom?
Yeah.
Okay, so total that came in, let's include Zelle, was an extra $1,805. Cool.
Okay.
You still spent $17,000.
$17,000?
Oh, here, let me check. Oh, $17,000.
No way. How's that even possible?
Again, somebody else who brought in the documents, their bank statements, everything that came in and came out for several months, and they don't believe how much they're legitimately spending. I don't get how you could spend 17 grand in 1 month and not realize it, on top of only bringing in around $5,000. It's really not that hard to check your bank and credit card apps every day, even once a week. We all stare at our phones all day long. It would legitimately take just a couple minutes. I could go on a European vacation for a month and not spend $17,000. How on earth? Even if I bought all the current things on my wish list, it wouldn't add up to $17K, and she had no idea. That's basically what all of the comments said. I do have some more examples, but I have been recording for quite a while. I don't want this video to be too long, so that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.